Hey guys, uh, welcome to my channel. My name is Mpole, and on today's topic, I want us to talk more about a very interesting topic, especially women. I think they will relate a little bit more with the topic that we're going to be talking about today. So, yeah, I have some of the notes written on my booklet because I can't remember all of the questions. So I'll be looking down onto my paper just to refresh my memory because I can't remember everything. Okay, as you can tell by the title of this video, today I want us to talk about the questions, like the most annoying questions that people like to ask. Either it's family members, friends, they like to ask, especially for asking new moms. I do have some of them written on the paper right here. So yeah, so without going any further or wasting any time, let's get into them. First one is when you come across a woman who has a child with a disability, people tend to ask questions like, what is wrong with the baby? I don't think it's appropriate for a mom or a fellow woman to ask another woman if there's something wrong with their baby. No, there's nothing wrong with that baby. Or a simple thing, it's not even related to any disability. Your child is throwing tantrums in a retail store somewhere at the mall, and other moms are looking at you with eyes of judgment, like, what is wrong with this baby? Like, seriously, you really don't know how a 3-year-old acts, or a 2-year-old? Like, honestly, we really need to cut it. Maybe the second point, the other one of the other questions that really annoyed me as a new mom was people giving an opinion about raising my child, like what I'm supposed to do in order to be the best version of myself, as in like how I raise my child. Ask questions like that, like give an opinion on how I should raise my kid. Do you have a parent manual that you can give me? And people tend to make it look like the way they raise their children is the way I would want to raise my children. No, ma'am. That's not how I want to raise my kids. I want to raise my kids the best way I know how, and I'm trying, for Christ's sake. Like, I'm not perfecting it. I don't even know if I'm perfecting it. We'll see when my child is older now, is the old man. We hope to raise leaders of the future, respectful children who are going to be better husbands, better wives, or better partners, better people in the community. Like, all those kind of things, we consider them. Like, every parent wants to be proud, one day be proud of their child. Like, if you come here and you're trying to enforce how I should raise my kid, like, no, it's a big no. And the third one is give an opinion on how to discipline my child. And people be like, oh, if it was my child, I would spank them. No, we don't spank here. Or make it about the fact that, yeah, in my house they wouldn't do that. No, this is not your child. This is my child. And like I said earlier, I want to raise them the best way I know how. I also want to discipline them the best way I know how. If you are especially this question or this comment is mostly done by mothers who have had maybe who actually have adult kids, like teenagers or a little bit above the ages, and they're trying to give advice onto new moms like myself. They'll be like, oh no, not in my house. That's not how I do it. I would have spanked that baby. No, you're not gonna spank my baby. Do you think I liked being spanked as a child? Because that's how I grew up. I'm 31 years old, and when I grew up, my mom used to spank us a lot, like especially me because I'm the firstborn. I think she was a bit lenient when it came to the thirdborn and the fourth. She had changed by then, but myself and my brother, oh my God, oh goodness, oh, and that's not how I want to raise my kids. Honestly, no, that's not how I want to do it. So please don't make such comments, especially older women, mature women, my bad, mature women who think they've got an experience in raising kids. Please, this is the 21st century. I want to raise my kids the best way I know how. So please keep your opinion to yourself respectfully. That brings me to the fourth point. The fourth point is, I think it's related to the previous one that I just mentioned. Is like acting like an expert just because you have had children before me, and then now you are the guru of raising kids, or you are a children whisperer, whatever it is. So no, no, ma'am, no. Hope, and I think and hope that some of the new moms like myself or the younger moms would agree with me that, guys, no, I'm a new mom, I'm struggling, I don't know what I'm doing. The least you can do is just be nice and be supportive instead of trying to be feeling terrible about a lot of different things. I'm new to this. I don't have a manual. It's hectic. I hate it sometimes. And it's okay if I do hate it. I do hate it sometimes. Like I just want to be alone. I wish I don't have kids for a minute. And I just want to have a full-on sleep from 9 o'clock to the next morning, 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the next morning. I wish I had that moment sometimes. And in those days where I feel so out of it, like lost, easily irritated, and dealing with a lot of different things and hormones and all those kind of, and somebody comes up and piles up stuff like that. No. We need more support for each other. We really, really, really need more support for each other than breaking each other down, making it seem like some moms are not good enough, because already that's how they feel. And if you come and like pile it up onto them, it makes them feel even worse. Honestly, it's not. I highly disagree. I know a lot of older moms or mature women who are also moms would probably disagree with me and be like, no, or especially my mom. My mom would be like, yes, I spanked you and you turned out okay. No, I did not turn out okay. Some of the things that you might have done to me, or all the kind of punishments you've been using onto me, they're a little bit damaging. They were. You think I turned out okay? I did not turn out okay. I'm still dealing with some of them right now. So please. The point is, this one is this is the most important, and I think most women have experienced it. When other moms making it seem like giving birth naturally, it's much more motherly or more important, or it has anything to do with how your kids are going to turn out to be, versus giving birth via C-section. And they make it look like, oh no, you didn't feel a thing, and no, guys, no, not encouraging at all. Just because I did not push and you pushed doesn't mean I'm less of a mother than you are. It doesn't mean you have better motherly instincts than I do, because at the end of the day, I have a scar. I have about 7 layers on my stomach that were cut through to get to my uterus, to get the baby out. I have scars that I have to deal with for the rest, and you don't have those kind of things. So don't make a comparison. I'm not trying to make a comparison either, but sometimes when you have given birth through C-section, people make it look like it's the easiest way of giving birth these days. I had to push my babies out. I did no epidural or medication childbirth. I gave, yes, kudos to you, Mamacita, we love you, and yes, we appreciate it. If that's what you wanted to do with, uh, on how you wanted to give birth to children, that's perfectly fine. But that's up to you. And so don't try to press that opinion onto me and make it look like I didn't do enough because I was just laying there and had a C-section and the baby was out. No. Yes, technically that's what happened, but you do not understand and you do not know what had happened. And dealing with scars like that, it's a lifetime thing. It's not something you can just get rid of. So please don't make us feel like we are not motherly enough or we don't have motherly instincts because you gave birth naturally and I gave birth through C-section. Honestly, I'm a mother as much as you are. I was able to the very same baby that grew up inside of your womb for 9 months. I had the same experience as you did, and that's not even the topic I want to get into, because even if you had a baby through surrogacy, that is your baby, and the very same instinct that I do have, I believe you do, we also do have if you had a surrogate baby. It doesn't make it any different from someone who carried the baby for 9 months. Truly speaking, it does. I don't think it makes a difference. Well, I have not experienced surrogacy, but with the experiences that I went through with my infertility, which is a topic for another day, I honestly think the one thing that matters when you want to have a baby is just holding your baby. Process of how you went through, what you went through carrying the baby for 9 months, if it was surrogacy, if it was adoption, as long as you hold that baby in your arms, that's what matters at that moment. And going forward, like, it doesn't really matter who went through what. Like, it's not a competition. Honestly, it's not a competition. If you adopted a child, if you had a baby through surrogacy, if you gave birth naturally, and if you gave birth via C-section, to me it makes no difference. I honestly don't think it makes any difference. The end goal was to have a baby, and you have a baby held in your arms. What more do you want? Honestly, are we here to compete? Is this a competition? No. And I don't think we need to make it look like it is. And it's very irritating to me that most people who make those kind of comments are fellow women. It's annoying. It's not just annoying. It's what's the word? It's demeaning. It's embarrassing to the core that the very same people that will be making such comments about other women of those calibers I've just mentioned, either it's adoption, surrogacy, whatever that is, it's other women. They make it look like they are better than other women. Honestly speaking, no. In my opinion, I have a baby. I held a baby in my arms. That's all that matters. I'm raising a baby to be the best version of themselves. I'm raising this baby to be the better person in the future. That's what I want. Finish and clear. Like, honestly, do we really have to talk about that? No. The other point, okay, the C-section part, it's also, I want to bring in another point. I just thought of another point. The other point is people making comments about breastfeeding versus bottle feeding. I have had numerous people make comments about my way of feeding. I'll talk about myself. I don't know about others. I did not make a choice not to breastfeed. I did not. No, I did not. I wished I could breastfeed just like any other moms, but I unfortunately I did not have enough milk supply. Besides that, breastfeeding is a lot of work. For a first time mom like myself, I found it very, very, very difficult. I struggled with breastfeeding. I struggled with breastfeeding. And I think one of the most discouraging words were when I'm in maternity ward. I just gave birth, and then we are with other ladies, obviously, in the ward, in the what, in the ward or what? Correct me. And then a lady next to me is like, "Oh, I already have the colostrum." Yeah, I think that's how you call it. The yellow, yeah, yeah, yeah. My milk is already generating, and she just got here. Maybe I gave birth early hours of the morning, and she got there later. She gave birth maybe during the day towards late, um, and then later on before midnight, she has already tried it, and there's something coming out, and I'm sitting there in my corner. Firstly, I don't know what I'm doing, and secondly, I'm asking myself, is this really how this is gonna work? Because the other issue that we always have, well, that I had while I gave birth, was the fact that I did not have any sort of guidance on how to breastfeed. They just give you the baby and they're like, yeah, try to feed the baby. They just put the baby on your boob and on your breast, and they're like, feed the baby, let the baby lash. Like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it properly. Like, nobody teaches you. Like, when you're pregnant and you still go for your visits, it's good. It's nice and good. It's nice. You feel like you got this. You're flowing nicely, and then once the baby's out, or you're just giving birth, they just wash up the baby and wrap the baby, and they just give the baby to you, and like, mommy, um, lash, eh, lash can win up. Oh my god, no. Mm-mm. 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 So you can just imagine, I was clueless, and I had twins, for Christ's sake. I could not, and I remember that night, um, I did not bring in bottles to the hospital, because on the hospital list, there were no bottles involved. So I didn't want to bring stuff that were not allowed to come to the hospital, and also I didn't want a big luggage. So I didn't know what to do. I asked the other nurse, I'm like, so what am I gonna do? Does that mean my babies are not gonna eat? He's like, no, there's milk. We can give them milk, and then they would bring some milk for them and stuff like that. And then I started giving them milk, and my baby stopped crying because there was nothing coming out of my breast. And can you imagine how inadequate I felt as a mom? And after wanting to be a mom for that long, and once that the moment I held my babies in my arms, and I cannot give them something to eat, and I'm thinking to myself, what a fail. What a fail. So imagine someone coming and talking about the very same situation, the very same way I felt, and making it look like my kids will not develop thoroughly, or they make it look like something is going to be missing with my kids if I did not breastfeed. And I'm sitting here asking myself, why do we have formula milk? Why? Because even animals, I know when I was growing up, my home, we had a lot of cattle. So usually when the cow would give birth to a calf, and then sometimes my parents would be like, no, there's no enough milk supply, so we can't eat that milk, because we would eat the milk from the cow. It will supply its calf, and then we'll be able to eat it. And then I remember my mom would say, or my grandmother would say, no, so instead we just keep it for the calf. And I'm sitting here like, I'm not trying to make a comparison like that, because obviously for the cow, I don't think they've got formula, but I'm just trying to bring it in to say, you just because you gave birth doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a lot of milk. Well, I stand to be corrected. That's my opinion, because I'm one of those people who did not have milk at all. Trust me, when I stopped my kids from breastfeeding, when they hit 3 months mark, I stopped because it was tiring. I only had a little bit of milk from one side of the boob, and the other one was literally dry. And these kids would just literally bite me because they're trying to suckle, and then there's nothing coming out. Obviously, my boobs were very painful due to that. I would drink oros, I would drink all sorts of mixtures, I would drink lishilishili, I would drink all these mixes. My grandmother brought stuff. I even bought Nessim Mom tea. There's this Nessim Mom tea that they sell at Discam. I even bought that tea. I drank that thing. I did not have enough supply to feed 2 babies. Like, can you give me a break already? Besides the fact that I was already dealing with a lot at that moment. But on this breastfeeding part, I did not have enough supply. And to even show you that I didn't even have enough supply, when I stopped my babies from breastfeeding, I didn't even have swollen breast full of milk, because some moms will be like, oh no, once I stop the baby from breastfeeding, I don't know the term for that, but when you stop a baby from breastfeeding, maybe they're older now, then yeah, they're a bit older, like 2 years old, because some moms will stop them at 3 years or whatever the case. That's your preference. That's okay. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, so they would say, yeah, I had to put some cabbage leaves in order to ease the swelling because my breasts were very painful. Trust me, I did not experience that even 1 inch. I just stopped. Once they hit 3 months mark, I just stopped, because from the get-go, feeding. So when that time came, around 3 months old, I stopped breastfeeding completely. I did not even put some breast pet just to try to prevent milk from coming. No, I did not have a supply at all. I did not even use. Most moms will be telling, no, you need to drink this, drink Coke, all these hacks from home, that stuff, homemade hacks. They'll be like, no, take Coke, drink bicarbonate and whatnot to bend the milk. So I did not experience that because I did not have a lot of supply. So obviously I had never experienced a lot of milk supply. So that's why even when stopping the babies, it didn't even feel like I have stopped them, because it felt like they have never even breastfed, if you know what I mean. I'm sure. I hope I explained it better. So yeah, without going further, because yeah, I think I spoke about that for a very long time. With that point of weaning your baby, like introducing solid foods to your baby, and then other moms will come with a lot of comments like, oh no, give your child this, give your child that. No, eggs are not good for them. What is not good for them? Give them this, give them that. Like, don't give them that. Trust me, you will even have opinions in the store. You're just minding your business. You're running around in whatever the shop, baby shop, where you buy your baby stuff, and you are on the food aisle. You're trying to look around. There's a difference between giving an opinion when asked, or giving an advice, or just making a comment or belittle others. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's a big difference between the three. So you're walking down the aisle, the food aisle, baby food aisle, and you're looking around, you're looking for foods. First of all, I'm the mother. I know what my child, well, I don't necessarily know much, but when I'm introducing food, like you're saying, I'm weaning baby, I'm introducing food to the baby. I have to look out for a lot of different things, allergens and all those kind of things, but I have to introduce almost all the food so I can be able to identify which ones work better or which ones the baby like. At the end of the day, at that stage, in my opinion, I feel like the babies don't even have, they just want to eat. They cannot identify what's sweet, what's sour, what's not sweet, what's not what. So as a mom, I would say use your own discretion. Also, consider the diet that you already have in the home. If you're a healthy mom, or you are like me, you eat anything that you feel like eating, I I know you're not going to give your child junk food, for example. They're just too little for that, obviously. But I'm just saying, use your own discretion. You can, it's either you can buy bottled bottled food from baby, preserved food, or you can do them at home. Just a mix of pumpkin and potato. Use your own discretion. You can even copy those ingredients from those branded preserved foods for baby, and then you make them at home if that's what you prefer. Or you can buy Purity. Oh, the other point is other moms making it look like when you prepare food, when you buy preserved food versus buying vegetables and fruits and mixing them yourself, then it's like you'll do a much better job. It's better to do it that way. You shouldn't do it that way. Do it that way. No, I don't think. I think those foods were made for a reason. And our situations are different. We have some are working moms. They don't really have much time to even prepare food for themselves as adults. So what more? Blending food all day. They because they are not preserved, they're not gonna last long. And there's just a lot of factors around why some moms don't prefer to prepare food for themselves. But if you can, why not? But don't make it look like, maybe you can because it's not a bad idea. Maybe you can bring it up if you are asked by a new mom to say, okay, what do you think I should do? I'm trying to wean the baby and some of the food he doesn't like. Maybe you can say, no, you know what? Maybe you should try buying some of the veggies and fruits, or the veggies that you have in the house. Just try to blend them, few of them, spinach, a little bit of spinach, put a little bit of whatever. Or maybe get a book. There's a very interesting book. It's called Winning Baby, or yeah, something like that. I'll show you a picture of that book. That book has got a lot of recipes. I bought that book because I was influenced by Vongai, just to introduce food to my children. And to tell the honest truth, I did not necessarily follow instructions that much. Like, I would just look, okay, there's beetroot, there's apple, there's carrot, there's cabbage, or there's something I don't have in the house. I'll just add anything else. I'll be just mixing other things. But I feel like, as a suggestion, especially when asked for an opinion, then it's not as bad as trying to make it look like when you buy your preserved food for the baby, then they're bad for the kids. They're just bad. And people will not even give you reasons why they're bad. They'll just, no, they're bad. Don't do that. They're bad. Then obviously it comes back to saying, it's like your decision making, it's a bit glitchy when it comes to your children. And to tell the honest truth, as a mom, all you want is what's best for your children. And also, as much as you're a mother, you are also a human being. You had a life before the child was here, and now you need to adjust to a new life, whereby you have probably 4 hours of sleep if you've got the longest. You have this whole human being that you always have to protect and make sure that they, like, you guard them like I don't know what. Well, at least that's what I used to do. You guard them. When I was in hospital, nurses would say, no, when the baby sleeps, you should also take a nap. No, girl, I've got twins. So when the other one is asleep, the other one is probably awake. When that one who was asleep wakes up, this one wants to sleep. So I do not have that time. I don't. And honestly, I do not have that time. But other than that, I think that's all for today. And please, guys, let's be very mindful. Let's be kind to one another. And also, most of all, let's just mind our businesses, because honestly, that mother needs a hug. My baby's crying. Honestly, that mother needs a hug and nothing else, and support and words of motivation. So you got this. You got this. I went through it. You will go through it, and you will win just like I did. Not Judge Judy, not the currents of the community. No, we don't need that. We already have a lot on our plates. So please don't pile it up. yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this far, and bye. I'll see you on another episode. Take care of each other.